They say regret doesn't strike at the moment you cross the line. It lingers quietly in the shadows, waiting for the noise to fade and the world to still before it creeps up beside you, a memory that won't let go. That's when it hits. When you finally see how far you've drifted from the person you once believed yourself to be. That's how it began for me, with one moment, one decision I can never undo, and the quiet ache of knowing I didn't stop when I should have thought it was an ordinary Tuesday evening. One of those days that hung with quiet routine. My husband, Michael, was away on a week-long business trip, and the house carried that particular stillness it always did when he was gone. I had just come home from work, slipped off my heels by the door, and walked into the kitchen for a glass of water. That's when I heard it, the faint sound of running water upstairs. I remembered that Liam, my stepson, must have come home early from his university classes. He was 21, quiet and thoughtful, often tucked away in his own world. You felt his presence most when it wasn't there. Nothing about it seemed unusual, but something made me pause halfway up the stairs. The bathroom door was slightly ajar, a thin line of light spilling into the dark hallway, steam drifting out like a whisper. Liam was always careful, orderly, private. The open door didn't fit. I hesitated, torn between leaving it alone and checking in. Concern won, though I wish it hadn't. When I softly called his name, there was a startled sound from inside. "I didn't know you were home," he said quickly, his voice strained. He sounded off, not embarrassed, anxious. His movements were restless, his tone uneasy. Something in his voice pulled me back from irritation to worry. "Are you all right?" I asked from the doorway. There was a long pause before he answered, "Yeah, just . Not feeling great?" His words trembled a little, and I could hear the exhaustion beneath them. I didn't go in. Instead, I stood outside the door, speaking gently through the crack. "You don't have to explain," I said. "But if something's wrong, you can talk to me." There was a quiet sound, a breath, unsteady. "Something's wrong with me," he said finally. "I don't know what's happening. I can't make sense of myself lately." The helplessness in his voice hit me harder than I expected. I wanted to comfort him, to make it better somehow. "It's okay," I said softly. "You're not broken, Liam. Everyone goes through times like this. You're not alone." But even as I spoke, something in the air shifted. It wasn't what was said, it was what wasn't. The silence that followed was heavy, uncertain, a mix of fear and confusion. I realized I had stepped into something fragile, something that needed distance, not closeness. I pulled back then, trying to steady the moment. "Let's talk later when you're feeling clearer," I said. He just nodded, eyes downcast. "Thank you," he murmured. I just needed someone to listen. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, the house too quiet. The guilt sank in slowly, like cold water filling a room. I hadn't done anything unforgivable, but I'd let a moment of emotion twist into something heavier, something that shouldn't have been so complicated. In the days that followed, Liam kept his distance. The silence between us grew thick and uneasy. I told myself it was just a misunderstanding, that everything would settle back into place. But some silences don't fade. They take root. A few days later, he found me in the kitchen after dinner. "I think I need to talk," he said quietly. "Of course," I replied. Setting down my cup, he hesitated, searching for words. "I keep thinking about that night. I didn't mean for things to feel strange. I just didn't know how to talk to anyone else. I nodded slowly, relief washing over me. You don't have to apologize, I said. We both just handled it wrong. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. His expression softened, the tension breaking just slightly. Thank you, he said, for not giving up on me. That night, long after everyone had gone to bed, I sat alone at the kitchen table, the clock ticking softly beside me. Regret doesn't fade, it changes shape. It becomes a quiet reminder of the lines we almost forget to draw and the lessons we learn when we do.